it's always
Hmm.
cool to just do some deep diving with the DJ. So let's talk about some DJ software. So we have the three majors. We have Recordbox, Serato,
Hmm.
and I don't know what the third one is. I'm gonna say Virtual DJ
Yeah, I was about to say that too.
because I just kind of think that Native Instruments Tractor, they sort of screwed everyone around when they
Yeah,
just dropped the ball on Tractor, then went into the whole production side. So
yeah.
we have the three majors. We have Rekordbox, Serato, and also Virtual DJ. So
Hmm.
where do they sit? I mean, I know here in America we use like a lot of the scratch DJs use Serato. A lot of the mixed DJs use
Yeah, down
Rekordbox.
record box. Yeah.
Virtual DJ, I do have all three. I tried Virtual DJ out. I used to play around with Virtual DJ years ago, but now I have the latest and greatest version. And there is a lot of tech behind
Yeah.
Virtual DJ. Explain that.
Holy, this is accurate as. All right, virtual DJ, you're my new friend.
Okay. I did a video about like my feelings about virtual DJ. I believe virtual DJ is probably the most powerful, most innovative DJ software, and I can't get into it for some reason. I don't like it. There's just something about it. I don't know if it's the layout or it doesn't feel as polished, or I don't know what it is. There's just something that's like a mental block, and it's not because I talk about it on my channel a lot. We have DJs are elitists,
Yeah,
and
we
we
are.
follow whoever is like if everyone has a MacBook, a lot of DJs well I'll just get a MacBook. That's the standard. That used to be the standard for 1200s,
Yeah.
and so what I look at virtual DJ as when Serato became the standard, people liked it and people use it to be different, but like there's just some kind of connection that people can't get. And I cannot put my finger on it. I've asked everybody about, I know a couple of DJs who use virtual DJ and they love it, but they kind of hide it. Like they put skins on it and they're changing
Right.
it.
Yeah.
They're not like loud because when people use Serato, they're loud and proud. They're like Serato,
Yeah.
record box. They're loud and proud.
Mhm.
And virtual DJ, they're making skins to change it into. And I'm going to get flamed for this because virtual DJ people, they're very passionate about it, and I totally understand because I'm passionate about Native Instruments and Tractor because that's been my main go-to software for the
But
minute.
but let me stop you right there because
Yeah.
okay, if you said Tractor is one of your go-tos, but you still
Hmm.
didn't have that in your top three. Now, why is it in your top three?
Well, my issue with Tractor is that I believe the company Native Instruments has let it down,
Yes,
and
exactly. That's
and
that's
it's
exactly the problem with Tractor.
yeah, it's not the actual software because I feel at this point you can basically use any DJ software to blend two songs together and do
Yeah.
effects, and they can all handle it right now. Tractor is cutting edge for some things, but they're not pushing the envelope in other things. Like for instance, Beat Source.
Right.
I was talking to Styles from Beat Source, and he was like, "Well, we reached out to them, and they just never got back to us." I'm like, "That's insane! Like this is the future for
Oh
everything,
my
the,
goodness.
the streaming services." I'm like, "You guys you're not even on the radar." Like, you could talk about all of the other DJ software. They're all like Beat Source. We're using Beat Source or Tidal or Spotify,
Mhm.
something, and Tractor's like they're going in their own pace, and so that's for me. That's the reason why I would say like it's Serato, Rekordbox, and Virtual DJ,
Yeah.
whereas I prefer Tractor to Virtual DJ. The other thing that annoys me about Tractor is that Tractor is not supported by a lot of controllers, whereas Virtual DJ is literally supported by anything,
Everything. I mean,
literally anything.
anything. I'm a tech person, by trade.
Yeah. Mhm.
And again, the technology that's inside of virtual DJ is just completely amazing. But you made a very good point.
Brilliant.
When I opened it up and I started playing with it, I just couldn't
Mhm.
get into it.
Yes. I don't
And
know
it's
what it is.
and
The
it's it,
layout.
the tech is there, and
Yeah.
it sort of is laid out like a lot of other DJ softwares, but not really. I don't know. Maybe I'm just like subconsciously overwhelmed by the tech, right?
I don't know, because you use all the other gear and other DJ software. I don't know if he's overwhelmed. I think that it needs an overhaul. Like all of this DJ software has done an overhaul for the layout. Like Rekordbox has done an overhaul. Serato's done one. Traktor's done one. Virtual DJ it has a vibe of amateur. And I know people are going to get mad about this because I still,
but
at the bottom of my
seriously
heart,
pro though, even though it has a vibe is amateur, it's seriously pro, you know?
Is I said this before, is the most powerful DJ software on the market right now. Yeah. They're pulling stems apart and taking the sounds out of the songs in the software.
He brought that technique into a very simple way. It's something that you can try very easily. So basically you can extract the acapella, put it together with a beat, see how it feels. I think it's very cool what they're doing.
They're doing that inside of their software, and Rekordbox and Serato will, bite that process.
Eventually they're gonna get around to it.
Right. Excuse me.
But these guys did it first. There's a lot of features they did first.
Well, what is it? The DJ app by, I think it's Algorithm, they actually have it too, like in their app. The thing about that is, I mean, it's cool and everything. I mean, you definitely, I love the fact that, companies and developers and programmers are just giving DJs like all of this creativity, all of this like coolness when it comes to like things like separating stems, because originally, remember, Traktor came out with their sort of like, hey, we have stems, and then they dropped off, and then the technology behind stems got so much better because Traktor was selling stems. There were companies that were selling stems that would work exclusively with Traktor, but now the technology has like evolved, and it's like we don't need to buy stems because now we can just separate what we want.
Yeah, use your song that you already have and do. And that's my complaint about stems. I was like, you had the software, you had the hardware, and you did it before anybody else. Right. I think there's two things. One, it was too early to the game, and they came out with hardware without jog wheels. Those two things people had a problem with. And the other problem was, I know. And the other problem is that they couldn't get top 40 type artists and regular, your Jay-Z, your Beyonce, they couldn't get them on board. So you had obscure dance music and that kind of thing. And so like it works there, it worked perfectly, and everybody who liked it, they worked. But you couldn't reach the mobile DJs, you couldn't reach the in-house club DJs or the bars and those kind of people, because the music that you wanted to play with, they wasn't accepting stems. Or you could make it yourself, but it was like a process. Because there was an app for it, and you could line everything up and do it yourself. But like nobody wanted to do that. So
I think the other thing is with Traktor, it was almost like a it was like a lot of the festival DJs use Traktor. It was just like you had the big festival DJs, and they had it going on. They had the rigs, they had all the different modules. It was a modulated sort of like DJ setup. It was like really hooked up. But it's kind of sad. Let me ask you this here.